All right, boys. We got Paddy Gleason in the house. What's up, Paddy?
Aloha.
Aloha.
We here.
We here, baby. We've been, we always talk and we see you at events, but it's nice that you could stop by the warehouse.
I know. I was telling my buddy, I was like, I'm going to go do a podcast with Marky, and we've been talking about it for a minute, but it's like, it's not going to happen unless it just,
Yeah, you got to make it happen, and you did. You're like, yo, I'm coming in. We're going to Dub C's this weekend. You're going out to Dub C.
Yes.
And then you're like, I'm coming by first, which I'm glad you are. You made the initiative, and this is how we make moments like this. So I'm glad you stopped by. I know it's a little bit out of the ways, but it's worth it.
No, it's all good. I've been wanting to stop by the warehouse for a while, but now it's even double privilege because I get to see the new one.
You get to see the new HQ. You haven't even seen. So we have 2 other buildings. But what'd you think of this one so far?
Yeah, I didn't see the other one, but the new one is nice. Dude. Like we were just talking about, it's huge. So growth, man. Growth.
It's crazy too. I always think back, because obviously our first little warehouse was my mom's garage. So even when I walk into this shit, I'm like, dude, this is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So,
and I've always fascinated about that too, with just your upbringing. And we've talked privately before this. I've always looked up to kind of your story, and I'm always big into stories and how you came up and selling T-shirts out of the truck of your car.
That's a good one.
And now you're here, dude.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's only like coming into a space like this, it's aspiring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And especially because, we're still with our same group of friends that started it, and it's all been, just us. So
cool.
it's super. I get excited walking into this shit, dude. I'm like, dude, we're still going, baby.
I would too, especially when you get to build out a new space.
Yeah, dude, like building out a space,
build it from scratch,
buying the building. We're like, I don't even know how this is possible, but a lot of hard work and grinding and shit.
Yeah, 1000%.
Hell yeah! So you came in from Washington.
Came in from Washington.
How's it been? How's paintball out there? How's it been out there? I follow you on your stories, but I'm not boots on the floor out there. So, but what it looks like is it's paintball looks to be thriving out there. Seems to be popping, or what?
It's good.
Or what? Well, let me get your take on that. He's like, no, hold on.
No. I like Washington paintball is good. I've always visited Washington, as we talked. I'm from Maui, so
Originally Hawaii.
Shout out to Maui paintball, and coming up to Washington, it wasn't anything new, and so the Washington scene has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
But you have Uprising. We have the Butchers now, right? The Butchers.
Who you're playing with this weekend?
Yep, I'm playing with the Butchers.
I'll match in, baby. Let's go.
And Mikey Lou. And then we have Seattle Cartel. Yeah. And so we have competitive teams up there. And so we usually hang around each other, close proximity, so that we can get some good practices in leading up to events. And so when NXL is starting up, we'll go and practice Uprising and vice versa. And we can get some good spins. And let me not forget about the ninjas as well. So part-time ninjas. So we got some competitive teams that are active in the rotation. Yeah. So, yeah. It's good, man. Yeah.
I always, I'm following your stories. It looks fun. Sometimes it looks cold.
So we're just breaking out of that.
Yeah.
And
so when it's like that, I mean, is anyone playing it during that time? Or it's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
It's, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just time out. I mean, Danny's from Michigan too. Would you play when it was snowing like that? Really? We don't see any fucking snow over here, so hell no.
And to be honest, like leading up, like you go all the way into World Cup, which is going into November, and then you got December, and the weather's really not terrible. Yeah. Then it's not terrible. Yeah. And then it like January, February. It's like you hunker down for 2 months because it's just shitty. And that we're still playing, but it's like 2 months stretch that you kind of got
to go through it.
And I'll tell you what, by the end of that though, you're like, okay, I'm tired of this. Like I don't want to go out. Play in the cold.
Rain. I see rain a lot too.
The worst is your fingers, right?
Your ice cold and getting shot like that?
Yes, that's the worst. Dude. That is like the worst. Like your fingers get freezing cold, you get shot, and it's like, I'm done for the day.
But by that time, knowing that these NXL events, it's always fucking raining. You guys are already primed up and ready for any weather.
Well, there's that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then the first NXL event's usually in March. So like right at the end of February is like you're getting the tail end of that bad weather. And then it turns, and then you're off to the races. So
that's funny.
Yeah, man.
That's cool. So when you were in Hawaii, you said you grew up in Hawaii. Were you born in Hawaii? Born and raised.
Yeah.
So when you were out there, did you? I don't know what age you got into paintball. Did you play paintball out there?
I did. Yeah. So I started in '99.
99.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
so
okay. He's OG.
I was like
around
11 or 12.
Yeah, that's like when we started.
Yeah. So I came up
like right around that exact time.
Yeah. So the only links that we had from you guys too were just the videos that came out, right? Because we're not exposed to anyone above back then too. It was like we didn't have any pros or anything like that. So we were just like all just small windows into what was going on in Cali. And so it was around that time. And little side note too, I grew up like maybe a mile or two away from what we had. It was called D&D Paintball. That was our field at the time. And that was the field that originally the Rabakoffs played at. And you may have heard them talk about it. They went to a field on Maui, and that's really what sparked their trajectory into paintball.
Oh, really?
And that was my home.
Oh, like that's how it started for them?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So that was our
paintball out in Maui, had fun. Like, oh, we're going to keep doing this. And then now J-Rab's a superstar. His dad worked for all the companies.
and I think,
I didn't know that. Fun fact.
and then, no, I'm sorry, not the Rabakoffs. I'm sorry, Bart, the Yakamax.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Backtrack.
The Yakamax.
Yakamax.
Let's rephrase that.
Yes, I apologize about
J-Rab
that.
would have been like, what the fuck you talking about?
I apologize.
Bart has a beautiful place in Maui. Bart has real estate in Maui, owns a lot of land in Maui.
Yeah.
His family started because of playing in Maui.
Correct.
The Yakamax,
sorry.
who own Impact, for those of you who don't know.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that either.
Out there, we were, we had, paintball was a big scene back when I was growing up, but it was fun because I was like 12, 13, and I kind of always had a knack for it. Like right when I started playing, I loved it. Like I fell in love with it and won our first tournament, and it was always fun because we were shooting up all these grown men, you know what I mean, and just stunting on them, and just we were the kids, and we came up on Maui known as like the kids coming up.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because we used to go out to Oahu, not that long ago, but I'd say like 10 years ago, which is still decent. And we go play. We do like street balls and stuff. Yeah. Maybe like 12 years ago, because like I was telling you off camera, my wife's family lives out there on the North Shore. But like even back then, like there was only like maybe when we went, maybe one or two guys that looked like they were pretty good. Because we get to play like every weekend, perfect weather. I don't know, maybe Hawaii's just different, but like we were kind of like the talent wasn't as good out there. You know what I mean?
And I think that's just exposure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
they don't get to play against a lot of people. Like our weekends, we're playing against Dynasty.
Yeah.
Aftermath. Like that's what we were doing. Like Legacy, Avalanche. Like we were around it all.
Learning. Yeah. With each other, like as one cohort gets better, they're going up that way.
But what I was getting at now, like even last WC, a whole team from Hawaii flew in.
Yes,
the whole team, and then we're seeing more and more kids from Hawaii, and then like the one kid who's really good from Hawaii that plays pro,
Paddy Gleason.
Paddy Gleason. There's another one though.
DJ?
Yeah.
So DJ is my boy.
DJ, but he was good. When I went out there, he was there. He was smacking everybody.
GJ
he was like light years ahead of everyone in Hawaii, is what I was saying. But now everyone's getting better, like all around. Like they're getting more exposure, like you're saying, to better players out there.
That GJ has his hands in that for sure.
Yeah, he had to have helped out because he's always out here. He's always over there. He's going back and forth.
So GJ's the man. And then when I was on Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder. He's on Thunder. Yeah.
I originally linked him up.
Oh, you got him on that. Okay, yeah. And then good, dude. He's like assassins. Yeah, on the Bears. Yeah.
And so and then
shout out. He's good. Yeah.
All the guys. Yeah. So that's why I love the WCs though, because what I was gonna say is it's really hard for these guys to come out to tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Let alone NXL.
Yeah.
So WC is perfect. It's a short, it's the shortest.
Yeah, not as bad.
Yeah.
5-hour flight, 6-hour flight.
Stay consistent for like a whole series is a whole nother story. You know, it's like, oh yeah, we can go make 1 or 2 events in the year and then, that's it. But you're not really making any progress. You're not really like having a presence in the standings and anything like that. It was always more just a rec thing. But now you're seeing more of them making it more consistently, and it's my time to come down and just hang out with my boys and everyone I grew up with basically. So WC is very special for me.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick. I like seeing all the Hawaiian pride out there, dude. It's sick,
man.
So you were on. What were all the pro teams you were on?
So I grew up with Thunder. I was on Thunder for quite a few seasons, and then when we folded, I went to Ironman, and then last season was with NYX. And then now I'm taking a step back and I'm with Butchers.
So full time is Butchers, WC. Yeah. And then not on a physical pro team right now.
No.
Like as far as the NXL.
Yeah, as far as NXL.
Got it.
Just decided to take the year off, take a step back. There's a lot going on in my life, and I was just planning on doing the booths down at WC, but then Map got a hold of me and I was like, bro.
You're playing and doing the booth.
You're gonna be down there? What are you doing? So I was like, all right, bet.
How was your experience on the Ironman? How was it playing with them?
With the Ironman, so to only be self-reflective, the year that I was on Ironman was the year, and literally my son was born before the first event.
Oh, wow.
So I had to I missed the first event, and then it was just the whole being a new father.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So,
I got 2 girls. I get it.
yeah, and so it was. I feel like the last 2 seasons with Ironman and NYX has been very troublesome, just in my own personal life of being a new dad and then running the gym basically, and trying to juggle paintball and the travel and everything like that. So with Ironman, it was just like, it was really hard for me to, what I had found out, right, was hard for me to give them my full performance, and which was frustrating on my end too. You know what I mean? Because paintball was my identity at the time. And then you have your kid, and then now it's, you got to take care of your kid.
There's nothing.
Let's not forget about the marriage too, right? So you got the marriage and the kid that you're trying to find balance for, and then you have your whole identity as being a pro paintball player, trying to win. Like, I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to just go and bullshit.
Not like a little mini vacation.
Right, the title of pro. I'm trying to win. You know what I mean? And that takes a certain amount of bandwidth as well. So it was a lot of push and pull back and forth, and that was kind of my experience with Ironman. It was just, it was like one of those things where you make it to like such this great name in paintball. You know what I mean? And like coming from Hawaii, it was like, holy fuck, I'm playing for Ironman. You know what I mean? And then like the reality of the situation was just like really tough for me to just get my bearings that year, and so that was it was a bit tough.
No, I get that whole scene. I got 2 little girls, and then your wife, and you're, even though if I'm not even on a team, but just you're either at work all day, 5 days a week, because we're out here grinding, and then it's like, oh, I gotta leave for 5 days because we're going to a tournament, and she's like, well, what the F about us? And you're like, you're trying to make that everyone happy, and it gets hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially with a new baby. It's like, you got to be there. So I totally get it.
And everybody has a different story too. Yeah, that's just my story. It was really tough.
I mean, Ryan just had twins, and then he's still going. So. But Ryan has a good setup where, when he needs to leave, his wife can be there. And during the week, Ryan's job is paintball. So he's home, and she can go do what she needs to do. So it's all relative to your situation.
It is. And, yeah, and that's just my, that was my story. I know that other people, have it maybe not easier, but have a little bit more setup that's better. But for me, it was very tough. So
do you think now that, you're getting in the groove of things, a couple years with the kid and everything, that you would make another shot at Pro NXL?
Yeah.
Is that the goal for Paddy?
Yeah. I wasn't trying to retire or whatever you call it, take a full step back. I just really needed a year to breathe. But I also, like, I've had projects and ideas with OTL for a while, and that was just one other thing that wasn't getting the love that it needed.
Everything needs attention.
Yeah, everything needs attention, and you got to kind of harness every little project that you're doing. And OTL has been such a big part of me since I've started paintball, or in the pro league, or at least when I moved, I should say. When I moved, OTL has been such a big part of me, but in the midst of just life and the chaotic movements going on, it was just not getting everything. So I wanted to come to the Dub Cs, make a little bit more local presence, do some of the sponsorship stuff that we've been, going back and forth on, and just give it its time to shine a little bit. So it's long overdue. So I just took a step back, and but the kid is getting older too, so that's also like evening out the levy. You know what I mean? So
that's good.
It's a good spot right now.
Yeah, no, I get it too. Like when we were playing, when we started HK, it was a team, then it was a team and a company. But then when we finally just stopped playing and went full time on this, is where it really started to thrive too. So I get like the, trying to do both, or making a decision which one you want to do and all that. So
I bet
we get that too.
Let me bounce that back. Jog me through a little bit of HK during that time of transition, because I'm always interested to pick your brain. So it was like,
for a lot of the times was like, we get there, we were driving, we didn't have a lot of money back then or whatever. Right. Yeah, we're driving, we're driving either the RV, or back then there was U-Hauls or whatever. We would set up our booth, and then we would have, there's so many of our friends back then. While we were playing, someone would be working the booth, and when we weren't playing, we're at the booth, and then pack everything up. Then it was MPPL and there was PSP and MPPL back then. So then we'd have whatever inventory we had, go to the next. Usually it was like PSP straight to MPPL, MPPL straight to PSP. And then we didn't have a lot of time for like we got our hype at the events, and like Cassidy was filming and stuff like that, but like we weren't really, you know, like making new products or like really able to have time to focus energy on like the real business side of it. We were kind of just like bootstrapping by the heels. But also the hard part about that is like we didn't really, because you're trying to do both, like we didn't give 100% on the team. Like we'd make Sunday and then always lose fucking Sunday. We were always pretty good, and then like the company was doing good, but nothing compared to now, right? So we kind of just had to pick one.
Gotcha.
We're like, look, I don't think like for us at the time, we're like, I don't think one, like we're above average at paintball, but we weren't like Oliver Lang or whatever. So we're like, dude, we love creating things and we love media and filming and stuff. So we're like, let's focus our attention here. I think that would be suited best instead of like chasing this goal to go pro or whatever it was. So that's kind of what we did. But there was a lot of like you said, you want to win, but then you also want to like have this company that's winning or like whatever. It's like, well, you only have so much energy in the goddamn day. So we picked this route and I'm happy we did. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Is there a pivotal moment that you felt like when you had made that decision, like there was probably a little bit of lapse of time,
there was because we were, dude, when we first everyone had another job at the time, right? So like we were all working at like restaurants or whatever, and then we're like giving a little bit of time to HK at night, like in the garages or whatever. Like, okay, let's try and do this. Let's weed some stickers. Let's press some headbands. Let's take some photos. Ask Kenny if he'll help us on the website because he was helping us on the side. A lot of like just a little hustling, working at a restaurant or wherever we were, and then going to events. And then when we were first like we started making a little bit of money, we're like, fuck it, all right, we're going all in. We're quitting all of our jobs at the same time. We all did it, and we were scared shitless. We're like, all right, I think we can afford $800 a month. So that's really what it was.
Wow.
And we all four of us shared a little apartment in Pacific Beach.
Okay.
And we made it work. It was tight, but it was hard to do it, but it was also fun at the same time.
Yeah.
You had to get scrappy with it. Like sometimes, like for real, like there was a Carl's Jr. right there. It was like 99-cent chicken sandwiches, one for the day. That was it. Like we got to make it work. Like, and then we go out and we were there and like Dynasty was in PB, like all the like the culture of paintball was out there. So we were just like embedded in it. Even when I look back at it, I was like, although it was only $800 a month and we lasted like a year, over a year at that. And then we're like, okay, we need to get to like 1,000 and then like slowly worked up. Wow, but yeah, there was a moment where we're like, okay, I'm quitting. You're quitting. You're quitting. Let's go. And it was scary.
Yeah.
But that was the moment where it really took it to the next level. Cause now every day, all day, that's all we had to focus on.
I mean, just talk about the lessons of jumping without a parachute.
Yeah. We didn't know what the fuck was going to happen, but I knew it was going to land better than where I was now. So I was like, fuck it. I could always go back to whatever else I'm doing. So
nice, dude.
Yeah. I remember that moment. Yeah. Me, Brandon, and Josh were talking. You're like, fuck, what can we pay ourselves?
That's fun. You talk about the Carl's Jr. or the Carl's Jr. My mom grew up off of Fells Bar in Garnett.
Yeah. Oh, in Garnett, yeah. We were on Grand and Garnett.
Okay.
A little apartment right there. What? Let's go. Dude, there's an apartment, up and down. There was a family under us, and we were up there. And we were rowdy back then, so I feel bad to the family. If you're watching this, I apologize.
I bet.
We were running around. We were crazy back then. It was fun. But yeah, that gives me goosebumps just talking about it.
That's awesome.
As much as it was a grind, I loved that. Like, I loved all that whole part of the story is awesome.
What a magical.
Just enjoy it. Yeah, it was a good time. Good time to be alive.
And now you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So OTL, so you have a physical gym back home.
So
like, is it your gym or you're like a trainer at the gym or like what's the story on the gym?
Yeah. It's kind of a long story, but I'll make it short. Okay. So I was looking to leave the gym that I was currently at.
Yeah.
And I linked up with this guy that was a partner in a current gym that was also looking to leave. So we were going to open up a gym. We had some back and forth going on, some spaces and stuff like that. It just fell through. And then he had an avenue that he knew some investors, but they wanted to open up their own spot. So he was just like, hey, why don't we, and we have space. So why don't we just open it up? And then he is a police officer.
Oh, wow.
So between him, who doesn't have any time to be at the gym, and then the 3 or 4 investors, they're all coming from the restaurant world, but just wanted this kind of as like a side. They're just very savvy with their stuff, and they just wanted this as a side project.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, let's just do this. And then so I'm not technically on any of the paperwork or anything.
Yeah, but you're like running it.
He brought me in to basically have boots on ground, create the culture, create the vision, do a lot of the media and content stuff.
Sick. That's dope.
And so, and so on top of that, and then like lead trainer too.
Yeah. So you get full access to this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's essentially yours at this point.
That's what I mean.
I get it now.
As far as saying that, but I I am
the man at the gym.
A lot of it.
That's
so
sick.
I do that, and then OTL, and that's pretty much, and then with the kid,
yeah. So was the gym there first, and then you made the merch around it, or did you start doing the merch before the whole like being in charge of this gym?
So with OTL, when talking about jumping without a parachute, when we left Maui, so I come from social human services. Okay. So I was a substance abuse counselor.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I come from.
Yeah.
But I was just getting a little burnt out between my own recovery and then being on an island.
You see a lot.
Up. Yeah. Well, you see a lot, but you see a lot of your friends.
Oh, go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard too.
It was just a lot. And I was like, okay, we were jogging the idea of moving off island. Jasmine, my wife, had never lived off island. So we jumped and quit our careers. So when I got up to Washington, I needed to figure something out that I could do. That I was working for like a florist shop at the time, and it was like really hard to get. And it was my first year with Thunder, so it was like really weird to get like time off.
Yeah, it's hard.
Demands of that.
Trust me, pain in the ass.
Yeah,
I know that too.
Like, okay, I need to figure out something that can kind of be like paintball's my platform. What's something that I can do to feed it?
Yeah, and feed it. Yeah.
And then so OTL originally just started as my online training.
Yeah,
so that's really.
I know you were pushing that online. Yeah,
real big. That's a real big part of OTL is the online training, and then I've just always loved clothing, streetwear, the lifestyle.
I like always the swag. Danny comes in with a new OTL shirt every. I'm like, dude, that's sick. The shark one or whatever, the cut off one. Yeah.
So
I'm like, where's that from? He's like, Patty. He's like, sick.
So it's just my creative outlet.
That's cool.
I like the training. That's more my professional side of it. Clothing's just my creative outlet that I got to do. OTL stuff.
And you were able to get some clients through Paintball too that were training with you online, or that still are, or
So we got a lot of clients online. I train a lot of pros. So Grayson Gladstone's been with me for a long time. Thomas Taylor's been with me for a really long time. Cyrus was with me all the way up through his divisionals, and now with pro. So I have some heavy hitters, but then I also just have and it's international. So I got people all over
everywhere.
Yeah. So
and then walk me through that. So if I sign up for your course, am I getting obviously you're going to give me what to do in the gym based off my needs, right? Say I want to get faster, stronger, whatever it is. You'll give me that, but will you also provide nutrition information?
Correct. Okay. So there's different tiers, right, to the training and on where you enter in on. And just through trial and error, I've kind of figured out the way to kind of like mainstream training to people. And then all levels.
It's you responding, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because some of these online training, you think it's it's like you, and then it's like someone fake in the background.
Marky, I don't have any employees.
It's all you.
It's all me. And so it's a lot. But the training aspect of it, it's like that's kind of my bread and butter. And I've had the privilege of training even just outside pro athletes from football to baseball and all the way down to now rugby for a few years.
Oh, rugby's sick.
And just being able to take that knowledge and trickle it down to what's applicable to paintball, right? And then when we talk about sport specific, that's really what we're talking about. It's like what movements are in demand for our sport and like the conditioning that's needed and everything like that and how you tailor that. So I make programs that's working on explosive power, working on mobility, working on conditioning. And when you hear me say like OTL athletes, that's my remote coaching athletes. And essentially they run through the same program. It's just a big community. And so everybody's kind of running through the same program. And it kind of creates that sense of camaraderie and friendly competitiveness between people. Because you see people, hitting certain numbers or, maybe someone hits 5 days a week. So it keeps you a little bit more accountable. So it just makes it a little bit more mainstream and easier. And then, again, depending on the tier, then we'll go in and dive into, hey, okay, so you don't have this type of equipment, like here's some things that you can do in replacement of this. And so I build it off one skeleton and then it kind of branches off to that individual. And then we also can dive into the nutrition and everything
Sick.
like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's all fine too.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's sick. So hit up Paddy if you need a workout. You need to get trained up and in good shape, dude. That's sick. Me, Brandon Short, and then Jacob Stewart.
Yeah, for sure.
We do a lot of running.
I know you guys.
We just did was essentially a 12-hour run / hike straight up a mountain.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
insane. 11,000 feet elevation. But what we're learning, like, we get this sense of competition too. Like, Short will wake up early. He'll run 7 miles. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going 8 miles. Then all of a sudden, Jacob does 9. And then like, you know what? I'm running at night. So we keep each other not only accountable, but like it's it's obviously friendly. But we give each other. We're all like competitive just from paintball and everything. And Brandon Short was one of the best fucking snake players, fast as fuck.
Right.
Jacob's a beast. But like we have this like in office, just fun like.
And you need
competitive spirit. Yeah, it's fun.
And I tune into you guys. Yeah, that's out of my wheelhouse. That's you guys run a lot. It's very impressive.
But what we've been learning too about this, like to running long distance and longevity, how important nutrition is and the right type of nutrition.
Yeah.
So we've been digging deep into that too. So like to get someone like you who could, instead of trial and error, like, oh, why did we burn out? Why did we do this? To have like a professional come in, would have been a lifesaver, but we had to learn the hard way. But
now you have that knowledge.
Yeah, right? We got the knowledge.
Like yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and marathon running or long distance running, resistance training too is super important.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
More things we need to add into that too.
I think so.
I might need to join the program, Paddy.
I've said it many times. I've got you.
There we go. He has. I need to do it. Damn it. I think we almost started it once.
I sent you the link. Yeah. I won't put you on blast.
We'll redo it again.
Chop that out.
No, let's do it. I need to do it. I need to add some strength training in. Yeah.
It benefits. I think just having that muscle endurance, right? Yeah. That comes from strength training. Yeah, you get exposure from it from running itself, of course. But you're gonna elevate the ceiling by doing resistance training. It's not about getting bulky. It's not about bodybuilding. I think that it's purpose, like working through your foundational movements. So it's purposely benefiting you with your run. So you can.
Yeah, I need to add to that.
Longer on your run.
I'm gonna be an OTL athlete. Watch. What do you think? So Danny was doing the ketogenic diet. Keto. You lost a bunch of weight doing that?
Yeah. I did for a month.
Yeah.
Is in ketosis. You like it? You don't like it?
Hey man, that's a touchy subject.
Oh shit! He said, "Screw your shit."
I did it to like jumpstart.
Yeah.
Like working out, but then I got fucked up again.
He said he did it to jumpstart his working out, and then he got hurt, and then couldn't do it just so people could hear on the mic.
Here's my.
I wanted to see what he said because some people are about it, and then some people are not.
Well, I hear this a lot that people go on keto as a jump starter, and it's like, hey, any of these diets that anytime you switch up your normal routine of what you're doing, I mean, unless you're just
if you were eating bad and a lot of sugar and too many carbs, keto,
change it up,
yeah.
Of course you're gonna see benefits from that. I think you're gonna see benefits from any diet if you're switching. If you're currently not eating well, and then you switch up to any diet, choose your diet, you're gonna see results, right? It's about the longevity of it. Considering you got hurt and everything like that, and things happened. With keto, I know that some people have lasted on it for a while. For the general masses, is it maybe like the best way to go? I don't think so. I think learning how to just eat a nutritional diet, whole foods, and just a normal diet is much better off.
More sustainable.
So even when I treat with or work with clients, I very rarely put them on macros. It's like, dude, who needs a third job?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've done macros. It's literally like having a third job.
Jacob and them have their app out saying, look, I get 2 more ounces of chicken.
I'm not saying it doesn't work. It works. But it's like, I'm all for being practical. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to preach something that I personally don't do.
No, that's good. Yeah, no, yeah.
Last year I tried it for like another month or whatever. I couldn't do it with paintball. It was like impossible.
While he was playing paintball. It was too hard to maintain keto.
Yeah, because you need the carbs.
He's tired.
It is a macronutrient, right? Carbs is macronutrient, so you need that. So your body needs it. So
No, I was curious. Everyone has their own outlook on it, but I'll tell you this though: he did. He looked good when he was doing it. If you can maintain it, Yeah. But I feel what you're saying.
I'm just more advocate for just eating normal. Like
It's a one ingredient. Look, it's a steak. It's a banana. It's a
and oftentimes it's really just diving into like the structure of how people are eating, and most of the time they're under eating.
Yeah, that's what we're understanding.
A lot of people
Not enough protein at all. Yeah.
So under eating and then not hitting your protein goals too.
When I
So
was keeping track through the protein, it shows you how much you should eat. I wasn't even
just a
close.
sliver of
Never hitting his protein when he was keeping track.
I'm eating so much food. I'm like, how?
And I think that that's what like counting your macros is beneficial, because it gives you like a eye opener about like, oh my God, like this is where I'm short at, and I'm like way short. You know what I mean? And so you get used to doing that, and then
Then you're dialed in. Yeah, you don't need that shit anymore. Yeah, you know like the amount you need. Yeah, based off chicken steak or whatever you're doing.
little hack. When working with the rugby guys, like I said, we rarely put them on like macros itself. Plus, they're always just training crazy, so it really didn't matter too much what they ate.
Yeah,
they're
they're burning the calories regardless. Yeah, it's like.
But it was like
long
kind of
distance.
general rule of thumb that if you wanted to gain weight, you would do 2 fist size full of carbs, a fist size of protein, and a fist size of greens.
Oh,
And then if you wanted to lose weight, it was 2 fist size of greens, 1 of protein, and 1 of carbs. And that was just kind of the recipe for success, and it works. I'm telling you.
flip it. Flip it.
I'm telling you.
Cheeto.
Dude, that is a hack.
Hack. Dude, that's sick. No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
it can be as simple as that.
It is
Like,
that
straight up.
It is, and then if you're consistent, you'll see the results.
Just doing it for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. What I was gonna bring up to you too, obviously. So you're sober.
Yes.
Yeah. When's the last time you had a drink or did anything?
So I'm in recovery.
Sorry, the recovery is the proper word. Sorry. I get.
Not to get into political. political
I don't need everyone coming at me in the recovery world. People anonymity. This guy's done.
No. So in recovery, I'm going on. I hit 14 years this year.
Shit, that's legit.
So my clean date was 11/11/11.
11/11/11, dude. That's a good one. Don't ruin that date.
I know. So I hold on to that one tight. So yes, man, that's also a big aspect of my life. So even in the background of all of this, and even though I don't bring it up too much, but like all of the life lessons that I'm learning, being a father, good husband, paintball player, all of that, like the umbrella over all of that is doing that as like a recovering addict.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all of the emotions that you have to balance and juggle by doing that, coming from a disease that's basically like you're allergic to emotions. That's why we use, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
You with that.
it's very tough. It's very intense sometimes. So
Let me ask you this: were you one of the people that was able to just try to quit the first time and was done?
no, but I do have a unique story behind that.
That's impressive if you pulled that off first time.
So coming from being a counselor too, I know that it takes it takes a person an average number of like 7 times through rehab before they get it.
Is that what it is? That what they say?
That's kind of
wow.
the general statistic.
7 times through rehab, and then you kind of figure it out.
So, and I'm coming off of IV heroin use.
IV heroin use.
Yeah, so I was an IV heroin user.
So would you not drink too much, or it was more?
I fucked with my high, dude.
Yeah. So IV heroin. So that's like needle the whole fucking thing. Damn.
Whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of that, and
This was in Hawaii. This was in
Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, Eugene, Oregon.
I was in Eugene, Oregon for quite a few years, and so I was kind of running shit down there.
Yeah.
And so that, not to get into the war stories there, but that was kind of my thing. But also to just put into the context, that is a very hard one to kick.
Yeah.
But I had a little business going. I sold that business, moved back to Maui, tried to get clean then. And I didn't know the first thing about getting clean. And so although I was abstinent from opiates, I was still doing everything else. Right. But I'm doing better. You know what I mean?
Hey. I'm not doing this, but I'm doing this.
Yeah, well,
I'm not drinking whiskey, but I'm drinking beer.
And it's like you hear me say play the tape out because it's like
Play tape forward.
It would start, start with weed, then I'd drink, and then it would go Coke, and then it would go right back to oxys, right?
And then it goes back to rehab.
Right. Well, so with that being said, I went and kicked it cold turkey off of a pretty decent habit of IV use and did that cold turkey. That was one of the craziest experiences that I've ever been through.
Dude, can't you die from that? I mean,
so after the fact, you can't really die from it. The only ones that you can really die from withdrawals are alcohol and benzos.
yeah.
But the caveat with that was with heroin, I got to a point, I remember when I was withdrawing, that when you fade the black, like when you get up too fast and you kind of you kind of black out, right?
Yeah, you get lightheaded.
Fading to white. Everything was going white, and then I was seeing like these lightning bolts like striking through my vision. It was wild. Wow. And then come to find out, that's like signs that you're on borderline stroke.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, fuck, I have someone looking out for me then. So
that would be bad.
I definitely was not new. And I was also 140.
140 pounds?
Just skin and bone.
What are you now? Right now, just
200.
Yeah, you look good right now. You look 140. I couldn't imagine you 140.
Just a pipe, dude. And
60 pounds lighter, dude.
So I did that cold turkey, and then, like I said, then relapsed, quote unquote, even though I never really stopped, but relapsed because I got back into opiates, and it got really bad to where I was basically living out of my car, and then got clean again cold turkey. So twice. I did it cold turkey, and then started going to the rooms, and I got clean from there. Nice. So
that's impressive that you're able to do a cold turkey.
I didn't go to rehab. I just
powered through it,
which
is painful. I don't care what you're doing.
It's painful, and I don't recommend it. But I do recommend doing it any way that you can.
Anything's better than keep going. Possible, well, whatever it is, yeah.
So, and then like I said, just have had more people than fingers that I've lost to it. So it's really near and dear to me, and I am a huge advocate for it. And obviously knowing the paintball world too.
That's what I'm saying. Like some stuff just happened in the paintball world, and one of our good friends, Bobby Avila's, and then I've had a lot of other friends. So not just outside world, in this world that we're in right here, this little world of paintball too. So it's tough too, especially us. Like, cause when we grew up, I'm like the face of the company. We go to the events, I'm like 21.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to party with HK, drink with HK. So for me, it's hard to turn it off.
Yeah.
So, and then, I'd go and then go to these events. It's 4 days of just madness, fun. You're this, you own this company, everyone's rocking. And then you go home and you're like, how do I turn this off? You don't really know how.
Yeah.
So for me too, now I don't, right now, zero, not drinking anything, don't do anything.
Yeah.
But it's tough. Like, you go in these waves, I'd be good and then I'd fall off, then it'd be good, then fall off. But lately, been taking it very, very seriously. No drinking, no nothing. And I think it's like a superpower because it's like all the drinking and stuff does bring me way down.
Proud of you.
I don't talk about it that much, but
proud of you.
It's way, way better.
Yeah.
Just going completely sober, no nothing. And then, because you also too, when I would go to these events, you want to be nice to everyone. Hey, you want to have a beer? Sure, whatever. And then by the time I get back home, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I still want to keep this going when it's not good. So it's just, I'm not drinking. That's it. And
we get you get the people pleasing aspect out of it, right? Yeah. The socialization aspect of it, the identity of it too, right? We're an extreme sport. It kind of goes hand in hand with the whole party scene and everything like that.
It's a 1-2 punch.
Yeah. So you have this thing where you're trying to juggle having that image or just having fun and stuff like that. But there's literally chemical things going on that's making you dependent on that stuff. You know what I mean?
Get back home and I'm still going. What the fuck? So I'm not at the tournament anymore. I'm fucking at home. I'm in my car. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
You remove yourself from the environment and you're still stuck with that.
Yeah,
you know
it's not good.
So and then it's not fun.
No, then it's torture.
Yes, and then
what went to fun is torture.
And it bleeds over to where it basically consumes you to where even the identity of it and this environment of it goes away, and now you're just by yourself doing it.
It's horrible.
You know what I mean? Now you're just in a very lonely place, and we see that all the time, right? With our friends.
Yep.
And so it's tough, man. Yeah. It's
It's sick though. It's good. It's good to see people like you. I mean, in paintball, when I was growing up, I didn't know anyone that was in recovery or doing anything. Like all our crew was rocking and rocking hard. So like, I know you don't drink. Like I'm not drinking now. I know I've seen more and more people when you post, because you do a lot of posts saying, "Hey, the tournament's coming up.
I try to.
Don't do this. Don't do that." Like we're here to play paintball, not go to party. And it's hard for me to say that because I used to go to the goddamn events to party and have fun, and it's it's like a little vacation. But now it's like, I guess maybe because I'm getting older, but like to go there and be serious and win some paintball tournaments or handle your business or whatever it is.
Well, you're evolving.
Yeah, evolving. We're getting stronger and better. Yeah, we're evolving over here, boys. Look, I've gone through it all, and this moment and this what we've evolved to right here with the non-drinking, taking it more serious is the move, and it's the play.
And I appreciate you.
I've been at the top and the bottom. And, I've seen it all, from hurting real bad to, not drinking and driving and running mountains and all what we're at right now. And this moment now is better than the other options.
I love that. And I do encourage you to talk about it more, right? I mean, because people are going to resonate with that. You do have a huge platform to do that. And I hope that you don't feel like being a hypocrite or something because that is what you did so much, right? But that's not where you want to be now or where you're going. And so a lot of people are going to listen to you, and I was telling a friend earlier who was talking about his struggles with kind of going back and forth with his substance. And it's like, don't hesitate to put it out there. I think putting it out there is not about the shame that you're going to receive from other people. It's more so you're putting it out there to expose yourself and being held accountable.
Exactly.
Once I tell somebody that I'm not going to do something, and then if they see me doing it, yeah. I'm gonna fucking be holding my dick, you know?
Yeah. Trust me, I know.
The more you do that, then the more it takes weight. You know what I mean? And then I also say that those demons die in the light of exposure. Yeah. You know what I mean? The more we don't talk about it, and the more we keep it to ourselves, the more hungrier they are. So like the inconsistency of staying clean and not staying clean is more frequent. Yeah. Because we don't know how to deal with those demons inside. But the more that we just let them out and share with people, because then you're going to get the sharing back. Yeah. And then you're going to get that human connection of like, oh, yeah, a lot of people are going through the same problem. We just don't talk about it. Yeah. And then don't even get me on the tangent of just being men. Like, we don't
want to say nothing anyway.
We don't talk about that
We're
shit,
good.
Right?
I'm good.
But I mean, it is there, and people need to hear it, really. Yeah. And they need to hear it from the ones that are out there too, just to be a positive role model or just positive influence on making a decision to do it. You know what I mean? And you would think it's one of those, when we lose somebody like we did recently, that people would stop. But addiction's cunning like that, right? They don't get,
Even one of our good friends did. And then when we were younger, next day it's like, what are we doing, dude? Like it's tough when you're in it. It's like,
and that was kind of one of the things that I did say on my post too. It's like, just because we lost someone, it's not an excuse to go use.
Back then it was like, oh, we're sad, we gotta go use. Like,
disrespectful way to like honor somebody. You know what I mean? Like
the worst way.
Whatever. So
but yeah, I was just getting at, like, it's cool because like when you'll do a post, then I'll be looking, someone's like, oh yeah, I'm not drinking either, or I've been sober this many years, and all that. It seems like the community, it's not huge, but it's a little bit more and more in paintball.
Yeah.
So that's nice to see, is all I'm saying, especially for the future kids coming up in the sport, or any sport. So
shout out to my last drop, fighting the good fight. And
fighting the good fight.
Mental wellness gang.
I like that.
Out here,
that's sick,
making
dude.
So
that's sick.
Dope, dude.
I like that. So okay, so I know you still have to get to Dub C, huh? We're not gonna go just yet, but so what's the plan for Dub C? You're playing with
Dub C, I'll be out there playing with Butchers. I think we play the Bloodhawks.
Bloodhawks.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, Jacob. Let's take these guys down. So Bloodhawks, if you guys don't know, is our HK Army Premier team.
Yeah.
The Butchers play Premier.
Yeah.
There's always a good battle with the Butchers, dude. They're like old school, but good, dude. These fools are good. They know how to throw down.
What's that? Yeah.
Dude, you guys always fucking are so good. Your lanes are good. Your off-break shooting's good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and they're good at hiding, dude. Can't kill these motherfuckers. Danny was saying...
Well, now
Danny's
like got the shark this year. You know what I mean? So
Danny said he was. You were watching you just smash on people, and then Danny's like, you asked Danny to film you, and then you got shot once. So you're like, God damn it! But we'll try to get some more clips of you this event. So you're with the Butchers. You have a
Butchers
premiere in the WCPPL.
Yep. So just having fun. I think with this group of guys, I had mentioned previously before too, I was really just trying to like fall back in love with paintball because it was just at such a crossroad that I really needed to just take some time and have some fun. So joining with the Butchers is probably the best thing that I didn't know I needed, you know? And so I'm down there. I'll be doing that. Doing the booth, so now I get the duality of playing and then just going to the booth and hanging out and talking shit and seeing everybody, and just a lot of friends at WC. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I love it.
I love it, and just having a good time. You know, so that's why I love the WCs. West Coast, the best coast. You know, you already know what it is. So.
I like that too. Like for me too. Even when we were playing like on Legacy Pro or even at D1 or whatever with HK, it's like. For me now, or always actually, I like to just go play for fun or not so serious.
Yeah.
Like we're not at practice. Everyone's screaming at each other, fighting. Why aren't we winning? Like for me, and everyone has their way of paintball, like what they like. I love to go do like a street ball event where like we would come to Washington and we all play together, just have fun, shooting the shit, high fives. I'm bunkering you, you're bunkering me, where it's not so serious. And I could see like, although with the Butchers you guys are trying to win, it's not as serious as playing with the Ironman or anyone else. So
and
it feels it's a little bit more relieving, I think.
It is relieving, and kind of going back to what you're saying, it's not like I don't plan or want to, if I have the privilege to go back onto the pro stage. That's not out of the question. It was just like this year was more for me to fill my cup.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, and I'm here. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
Like I'm just making.
We're making moves now.
Yeah, I'm trying to navigate within the space.
Yeah.
Going back to the recovery thing. It's like you never know, like. When your time's up or when someone else's time's up. So I'm really just trying to hang out with as many people and just make those connections and create. And, I love the creation aspect of it. And you guys are at the top of the game for it. You know what I mean? So I'm always tuning in and, dude,
we just make the most of this time while we're here, man. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, Paddy, thank you so much for stopping in. I know you got to get going. We got shit to do too still. So
I appreciate you having me.
Jay wants us to go film 10 more commercials today. Nah. Suck it, Jay. We're not doing that. I'm just kidding. Paddy, dude, thank you so much for coming out.
Yes, sir.
Good luck at Dub C.
Appreciate it.
But I got to say, the Bloodhawk's going to take you down, baby. Let's go.
Hey, the shark will be there, man.
Let's go. I had to talk a little shit, boys. Hey,